Today, we are going to be doing the third and final installment of the most fun vehicles in GTA 5 Online. All of you guys obviously grind and try your best to make as much money as possible, and you want to spend some money so then you guys can have a lot of fun in the game. Lucky for you, we have 13 really fun vehicles that you guys can buy, so hope you enjoy the video. Before we get it started, be sure to check out Digazani down below in the description if you guys need any money, and if you want to check out the first two videos of this series, they're down below in the description. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get it started. The first vehicle on this list is going to be the Vigilante. You can purchase it for about $3.7 million. The reason why this vehicle is so fun, number one, the rocket boost on it recharges in about 3 seconds and it's very powerful. Number two, it's the Batmobile. Number three, it's extremely strong. It'll smash through anything it touches in a few seconds. Another thing it can do is of course shoot MG rounds and missiles, which makes it extremely overpowered. So not only is it fun, but it can also help you guys out if you're trying to kill somebody that is after you, and it can also outrun homing missiles from Oppressor Mark IIs or even just the homing launcher in general, so if someone shoots it at you, don't worry, you guys can escape it. Next up on this list is the ZR380. This vehicle is so fun to drive around. It's based off of a Nissan 370Z in real life, and it has tons of awesome modifications because it's an arena war vehicle. You guys can put that massive wood chipper, meat grinder sort of thing on the front of this vehicle, and if you just tap another car, the vehicle will be shot up into the sky. Another cool thing is the blades that it has on it. If a pedestrian comes near you, they will die instantly, and if a car comes near you and hits one of the blades on the back or on the sides, they will get flung away as well. And of course, the spikes are also very helpful because if a cop is there or another player, all you gotta do is hit them and they will die instantly if they touch any of those spikes. Another cool thing, you guys can put mines on it, and there's a bunch of different options for that. One of my favorite ones is going to be the sticky mines. If you guys actually do this and drop one of those mines near an online player and it actually explodes, they will not be able to get back up. If you actually look at them and they try to move around, the second they get back up, they will fall back onto the ground and get stuck there. Then 3 seconds later, they'll get back up and they'll get stuck there again. It will take them a fair bit of time to actually get out of there, so then you guys have enough time to actually get out of the car and shoot them in the head with a pistol or the gun of your choice. And of course, this vehicle also does have a rocket boost, which isn't really that great, and of course, it can also jump. It's a really fun vehicle to drive around. It is very expensive though. As long as you guys unlock all of the upgrades, it shouldn't set you back too much money. It is definitely one of the most fun arena war vehicles you guys can buy. Next up on this list is the Oppressor Mark I. You could purchase it for about $3.5 million. And honestly, it's a pretty fun vehicle. Not only that, but it's also very useful. You can kill a lot of people with this if they are trying to kill you. One thing I do have to say though, for an extra like 100k you can get the Oppressor Mark II, and it's much more useful, one of the best vehicles to do any kind of work with in this game. But honestly, if you're looking for something fun, the Oppressor Mark I is definitely the way to go. You guys can do tons of really cool tricks on this bike, and there is another thing you could do. You can actually launch up into the sky and get to the highest point in the entire map, which I thought was pretty awesome as well. Of course, you guys can open the wings on it and use the rocket boost while on the ground, making it an all-around really fun vehicle. Next up on this list is the Scramjet. It costs $4.6 million and it's worth every penny. The number one reason why I love this vehicle is because it's so incredibly fun, which is why it's on this list. It has a jump boost and it also has an insane rocket boost, which lasts a very long time. So if you guys jump up in the air, become vertical, and then use that rocket boost, you guys will soar so high you can actually overtake some of the buildings in the main part of the city. Yeah, you heard that right. If you go straight up in the air, you can launch higher than the Maze Bank building, which I thought was pretty cool. And of course, you guys can do some other fun things with this vehicle as well. I've seen some videos online where some people use the rocket boost and they do some crazy drifts. You guys have probably seen them before. They have millions of views. Me and some of my friends did a couple of challenges with this vehicle as well. We went to the very top of the map, and the first one to get back to the bottom of the map using the Scramjet's boost wins. And then of course, the other challenge is trying to land on top of the building that's under construction with the Scramjet. I guarantee you guys, you won't be able to do it in under 5 minutes. It's one of the most challenging things to do in this game, and it took us a really long time, but finally we did it, and it is really fun, which is why I'm saying you guys should buy the Scramjet. It is worth every penny of that $4.6 million. Next up is going to be the Insurgent. This will set you back a fair bit of money, especially if you get the Insurgent Pickup Custom, well over $1.2 million. but the base version won't set you back more than 900k. One of the most fun things about the Insurgent is that it can ram through traffic like it's nothing, which is why I love driving this thing around. Also, the gun on top of it is extremely powerful. It will obliterate any vehicles in a matter of seconds, and if you're killing somebody with a vehicle that has armor on it, like for instance any car that has maxed out armor, it will take probably about 7 seconds to actually destroy the whole vehicle. That's how powerful the turret is on the top of this truck. It is fairly expensive though, but to be completely honest, it's pretty much worth it because it's a very fun vehicle to drive around. And if you've never driven an Insurgent around before, I would suggest buying the Insurgent pickup from Pegasus, converting it to the Insurgent pickup custom, and having some fun, especially if you're going to go and kill other players. They will hate you because they won't be able to kill you when you're driving this thing around. Next up is going to be the Kane Jolly. Now this vehicle costs $3.8 million. It's the better version of the Rhino tank. It has a railgun cannon, it has a turret on the top that can be used, and also 2 side turrets that can be used from 2 other people. That means it could store 4 people inside this tank, compared to the 1 that the Rhino tank can hold. It's obviously really fun because it's a tank. Driving around the city, blowing up everything in sight with a giant tank that has a railgun cannon is pretty damn fun. It is worth the $3.8 million, plus you can customize it and make it look really awesome, but with the Rhino tank you obviously can't do that. Plus you can also store it in your facility and request it in at a moment's notice, and it'll spawn just near you. It's really a fun vehicle and it's worth that $3.8 million. Next up is the B11 Strike Force. It costs $3.8 million and it's one of the best bombing planes in the entire game. Not only can it drop bombs, but it can also shoot explosive MG rounds, barrage missiles, and homing missiles as well. It's really easy to control as well. It's not hard to actually do a strafe run with this plane either. And like I said, it's a Warthog. It's extremely fun to use. And it sounds like a Warthog when you guys actually shoot the explosive MG rounds, which I thought was pretty cool. It does cost a fair bit amount of money, but honestly it is worth it because it has a bunch of cool features on it, and like I said, it's very fun to fly around. Next up on this list is going to be the Phantom Wedge. You guys can buy it for about $2.5 million, and the reason why this thing is so fun is because it has that giant shield on the front, which can push anything out of the way. It will literally plow through traffic like it's nothing, which is one of the best parts about it. It's also extremely fast, and it feels a lot faster than most other trucks in the game, and of course you can also tow your mobile operations center with it, which makes it even more powerful. Imagine plowing down a highway with this thing with your MOC on the back of it, with people manning the turrets. The Phantom Wedge is great, but the thing it can't do is plow through buses. That's the issue. Any kind of big vehicles, it's going to have a challenge with that. So if you guys are looking for something that will plow through literally anything with no issues, go for the Rat Buggy. It costs $3.1 million and it is an overpowered little fucker. The reason why I love using this thing is because no matter what kind of vehicle is in front of it, it will launch it into the air. It could be a plane, it could be a jumbo jet, it could be a bus, it could be a motorcycle. No matter what it is, they will get launched into the air. There's been instances where I've driven through buses before and they were launched well over 100 feet up into the air, which was awesome. All you gotta do is just drive and then look behind you and look at all the havoc you cause, because with these vehicles you will have a blast and definitely piss off a lot of the NPCs around you. Next up is going to be the Cargo Bob. You guys can find it spawned in at any helipad or airport or buy it for about $1.8 million. The reason why it's so fun is because you could pick up people with that grappling hook and take them and throw them into the middle of the ocean, or just go and pick up random players and then make them beg you to drop them, so then you don't drop them on the top of Mount Chiliad or really far out into the ocean, or worse, on top of somebody's yacht, because then they're kind of just stuck there with their car, and if they kill themselves, they'll end up respawning on the yacht. Another thing, it's also very useful for vehicle cargo missions and even special cargo missions. If the special crates actually spawn in the back of a small van, you could pick up the van and just bring it back to your warehouse instead of driving it through traffic, which is also very helpful. Next up is the BF400. You guys could buy it for about $95,000. It's hands down the best dirt bike in the game. It also is the second fastest motorcycle in the entire game, behind of course the Death Bike. But this vehicle is so fun, and honestly you don't even need to buy this one specifically. You can get the Manches or the Sanchez instead. But going off-roading and driving around with a dirt bike on mountains and shit is so fun to do. I cannot stress this enough. If you guys have never done this, you just go do it for like 5 minutes. Just go from the city to Mount Chiliad and back, and you guys will have a blast. Pop some wheelies, fly up into the air, do a few front flips or back flips, and you'll see how fun it is, especially if you stick the landing every time. It's honestly worth the $95K because it's super fast and you can use it in bike races as well and absolutely slap with it. It's definitely worth the $95 grand. Next Next up is the Alpha Z1. You guys can buy it for about $2.1 million, and it's super fun to fly around, especially if you guys love doing stunts in planes. Obviously, you guys have probably used the regular stunt plane in game, which is obviously pretty cool, but the Alpha Z1 overtakes it in every single possible way, except for the price, which it is a little bit more expensive, but this plane has the best agility out of any plane in the entire game. You guys will be able to control this thing hella easily as long as you guys know how to fly a plane. If you don't, then you are definitely going to die. But it's really fun to fly around. It's super simple to do stunts, and it's very quick, so even getting from point A to point B with this thing is pretty damn easy as well. It's also very low to the ground, so be careful about that. But then again, you guys can fly pretty low to the ground with this thing since it's fairly small, and like I said, its agility is amazing, so you can easily outmaneuver the trees or buildings that are in the way. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap up the video for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to comment down below if I missed out on any vehicles. I'm very curious to see if I did, because I think I covered all of them in the 3 videos that I made of this series. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.